How old were you when you realized that one of the most influential people in Selena Gomez's life isn't someone constantly in the spotlight, but a behind-the-scenes music producer who quietly built an empire powered by legendary dinner parties, massive celebrity connections, and a lifestyle that insiders say shaped some of Hollywood's most unexpected relationships? Today, we're diving deep into the real story of Benny Blanco, the man whose secret world of food, friendships, and creativity eventually intertwined with Selena Gomez in a way that fans still can't stop talking about. And trust me, by the end of this video, there's a detail about Selena and Benny that most fans completely missed, a detail hidden right in the middle of one of Benny's now famous private gatherings. Stay tuned, because once you hear it, the entire story hits differently. Let's get into it. The hidden side of Benny Blanco. The roadside moment that tells you everything. To understand Benny Blanco's rise into Selena Gomez's inner circle, you first have to understand how un-Hollywood he really is. While most celebrity stories begin with red carpets or glamorous premieres, this one starts on the side of a random Los Angeles road. Not a fancy restaurant, not a private club, just Benny, a food truck, and a plate of shrimp tacos he swears are better than Michelin star meals. And that's the thing about Benny, he lives for food. Not as a hobby, not as a flex, but as the emotional center of his life. He actually admitted that if he has a bad meal, he gets depressed. That's how seriously he takes flavor, culture, and connection. This is important, because food isn't just something he enjoys, it's the foundation for nearly every relationship in his life, including the one that would eventually lead him to Selena Gomez. The way he talks about food isn't just passion, it's identity. He grew up in a culturally diverse community in Virginia, exposed to cuisines that opened his world before he even knew what fame was. And his mother, a fearless, adventurous eater who passed that boldness directly to him. But here's where things start to take a turn. Because while food might sound like a simple love, Benny turned it into a social superpower. And that superpower became the bridge that connected him to some of the biggest celebrities on earth, including Selena. But we'll get to that. Before we move on, I want to know, do you think Benny's unique personality makes him a refreshing presence in Hollywood? Or is his low-key style part of the mystery that draws celebrities toward him? Let me know in the comments. Up next, Benny's dinner parties, and the secret rule he follows that changed everything for his career. And yes, Selena Gomez is part of that story. The dinner parties that built an empire. Inside Benny Blanco's Hollywood table. Benny Blanco's dinner parties have become almost mythological in Hollywood, but not because they're pretentious or high budget. In fact, it's the exact opposite. Imagine this, a grandmother wearing a rhinestone shirt that says, "Bada bing." A 12-year-old child pianist. A 70-year-old filmmaker. A corporate banker from Capital One. A Grammy-winning artist like SZA humming melodies in the corner. And Benny himself running between the kitchen and the table like a hyperactive host from a sitcom. This is not the Hollywood elite choosing who gets invited. This is Benny hand-picking souls. People he loves, respects, or finds interesting, regardless of fame. And that mix is his magic. People who would never meet anywhere else collide in Benny's living room. Rappers talk to bankers. Artists talk to suburban parents. TV producers sit next to childhood friends. And the glue holding everyone together is food, Benny's true love language. It sounds chaotic, but it's not. It's intentional. Because here's the secret rule of Benny Blanco's dinner parties. He remembers everything. Your allergies. Your favorite wine. Whether spicy food makes you sweat. What kind of music puts you at ease. And that attention to detail is what makes people trust him, including Selena Gomez. In Benny's world, food isn't just a meal. It's a way to disarm people, make them feel safe, and open doors to deeper conversations. One of the most iconic stories involves SZA accidentally demolishing an entire tray of his banana pudding, not in one sitting, but over the course of a day, one spoonful at a time. She liked it so much that from that moment on, she demanded it backstage, during writing sessions, during shoots, everywhere. That's the level of impact Benny has. His food creates memories, bonds, trust, and eventually, this trust-based environment is exactly what led to Selena Gomez spending more and more time in Benny's world. But before we get to how their relationship began, you need to know about Benny's unexpected career twist, one that changed how celebrities viewed him forever. Stay with me. Chapter 3. From behind the scenes genius to accidental actor. Most people know Benny Blanco as the producer behind mega hits like Teenage Dream, California Girls, and countless others. What they don't know is that he never planned to appear in front of cameras. Until one of his best friends, rapper and comedian Dave Bird, better known as Lil Dicky, forced his hand. The show, Dave, needed someone to play Benny. They tried casting actors, but something was missing. According to the team, nobody could mimic Benny's chaotic sincerity, so Dave asked him to come in for a screen test. Benny didn't even know what a screen test was. He thought it was going to be a quick audition. Instead, he walked out with a major role. And here's the twist. Benny never memorized a script. He improvised everything, every line, every reaction, every scene. The result, Jon Hamm, yes, Mad Men's Jon Hamm, once told Benny he was an incredible actor and asked what he was starring in next. Benny was stunned. He had never acted before, Dave, and he wasn't acting now. He was just being himself. This moment matters because it changed how Hollywood saw him. No longer the invisible mastermind behind the music. Now a personality, a public figure, someone with a story, and someone who was suddenly moving closer and closer to Selena Gomez's world. But their actual connection started long before the public saw anything. And incoming next is the chapter fans obsess over. How did Selena and Benny really meet? Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. The meeting no one remembered. Their friendship didn't start with an iconic collaboration. It didn't begin with a viral moment. It didn't even happen during a major studio session. In fact, neither Selena nor Benny actually remembers their first real-life meeting. It was Selena's mother who had to remind them, pointing out that years ago, both families casually crossed paths during a moment so insignificant that neither future superstar even registered it. The symmetry is almost poetic. A forgotten meeting eventually turned into a multi-year friendship, which turned into creative partnership, which turned into something deeper. According to Benny, the shift from friendship to something more wasn't dramatic. There was no big confession, no staged moment, just one day when the vibe between them felt different. They were hanging out, the way they had many times before, and Benny realized something subtle had changed. What was supposed to be a casual hangout suddenly felt like a date. And from that moment, everything clicked. It happened quietly, naturally, without the Hollywood theatrics you'd expect. And this is where things get interesting for fans. Because if you look closely, the shift in their dynamic aligned almost perfectly with something happening behind the scenes, something almost no one was paying attention to. Selena Gomez had just started her cooking show, Selena Plus Chef. And guess who she kept calling when she needed inspiration, advice, support, or even just someone to laugh with? Benny. Their worlds weren't colliding by accident anymore, they were fusing. And what comes next is the part that fans debate endlessly. Did Benny Blanco's private world influence the way Selena Gomez re-emerged into the public eye? Before we get into that speculation, tell me in the comments. Do you think Selena and Benny were destined to connect because of their creative chemistry, or was it their shared love of food and comfort that made it inevitable? Now let's move into the part fans always ask about. How did Benny's personal lifestyle shape Selena's career moves? The private world that attracted Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez has always been open about needing stability, grounding, and authenticity in her life, especially given the pressures of fame. So when fans see her spending time with Benny Blanco, one thing becomes clear. Benny's world is the exact opposite of Hollywood chaos. He doesn't care about glamour. He doesn't chase attention. He doesn't flex his wealth. His biggest obsession, perfecting a recipe, creating a warm space, bringing unlikely people together. Insiders say Selena found comfort in that, in his ability to turn a simple meal into something intimate, meaningful, and human. Selena Plus Chef wasn't just a cooking show. It was a mirror of Benny's influence. Honest, messy, comforting, and deeply connected to emotion. One of the biggest moments was when Gordon Ramsay appeared, and Selena held her own despite Gordon's notoriously intense energy. Benny admitted that he would have cracked under pressure, but Selena, she powered through. Fans began seeing a new side of her, more confident, more grounded, more connected to joy. And many believe Benny's presence behind the scenes helped her rediscover that version of herself. But here's where the speculation reaches a new level. Because there's a rumor, and while we can't confirm it, the timing is suspicious, that one of Benny's dinner parties played a role in pushing Selena toward her next major emotional chapter. We're going to talk about that next. The dinner party rumor. The night fans keep asking about. Multiple sources familiar with Benny's inner circle have said the same thing over the years. Selena's most candid moments often happened in Benny's kitchen, not in studios or on red carpets. People talk, people share, and guests at some of Benny's gatherings have hinted that Selena experienced a major turning point during one of these private nights. Was it a creative breakthrough? Was it the moment her relationship with Benny changed? Was it related to her mental health journey or career decisions? No one knows for sure. But insiders point out something interesting. Shortly after one of these gatherings, Selena made several major moves, publicly and privately, that aligned with a period of emotional clarity she later spoke about. Was Benny Blanco part of the reason she stepped into a healthier chapter? Was his presence stabilizing in a way fans didn't realize at the time? We can't say definitively, but the timing raises questions. And this brings us to the final chapter. What does the future look like for Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez, both personally and professionally? Let's get into it. What's next for Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez? Future projects, speculation, and fan theories. Here's what we know. Benny Blanco continues to produce for top-tier artists while expanding his brand through cooking, content creation, and possibly even new entertainment ventures. Selena Gomez is deep into multiple worlds: music, acting, philanthropy, and beauty. Fans wonder, will the couple collaborate more creatively? Will we see them on screen together again, especially after Benny's unexpected success as an actor? Will there be a future project that blends Selena's emotional storytelling with Benny's love for comfort, food, and connection? There's no official announcement, but from a career standpoint, Benny and Selena are perfectly aligned for a major joint project, something intimate, something vulnerable, something that reflects their shared history. And if it happens, fans will look back at all the clues and realize it was building for years. Before we wrap up, let me know. Do you think Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco should publicly collaborate again, musically, on a show, or even a cooking project? What would you want to see from them? Now here's the part one promised at the beginning, the detail most fans completely miss. During an interview, Benny casually mentioned that when he's cooking for someone he cares about, he remembers everything about their taste, their comfort, their preferences. Then he said something revealing. When cooking for one specific person, he always makes a separate version of a dish without spice, because she can't handle it. He never said her name. But fans did the math. And that single statement has become one of the biggest clues tying Benny's private world directly into his relationship with Selena Gomez long before anyone suspected a thing. If you want the full breakdown of the behind-the-scenes clues that fans believe prove their relationship started earlier than the public realized, make sure to check out our next video. It's one of Celeb Juice's juiciest deep dives yet.